Electricity service in Venezuela took its first steps hand in hand with the private sector at the end of the 19th century, but over time, the state took full control of the sector. In 1998, the sector, managed between private and public enterprises, was in good health, since the installed capacity was 14,000 megawatts, more than what the country demanded. With the arrival to the presidency of Hugo Chavez, decisions that led to the total nationalization of the electricity sector and marked the beginning of a devastating process were made. On July 31, 2007, the government created the National Electric Corporation, Corpoelec, and began a process to convert all private companies into state-owned enterprises. The total control was reached at the end of 2010, when the organic law of the system and electric service was approved, and Corpoelec became the sole operator of generation, transmission, distribution, and commercialization of the electricity service. The decline of the service soon became evident. That same year, hydroelectric generation was reduced due to drought. The response of thermoelectric plants was insufficient, and rationing became widespread. Chavez declared the state of emergency in the provision of the service, and this figure allowed Corpoelec, PDVSA, and the Ministry of Electric Power to acquire equipment without bids. A party of direct contracting began, and it ended in great cases of corruption that have gone unpunished, at least for what is publicly known. More than 40 projects were awarded to increase hydroelectric and thermoelectric generation in the country. In all, overpricing was detected, and the use of outdated or not compatible technology with the Venezuelan system. Despite the multi-million investments, only 23 of them are operational. The thermoelectric plants bought from Derwick stand out in the history of corruption in this sector. Equipment that was not necessary for the project and dismantled equipment that was never installed were purchased. The Tocoma hydroelectric power plant had to be ready in June 2014, but by the fourth quarter of 2018, it had an 87% advance and it was paralyzed. Documents obtained by Transparencia Venezuela reveal that the Republic undertook to pay the construction company Odebrecht, in charge of the civil works, at least $2,471 million. The political patronage is remarkable. Between 2001 and 2016, the number of employees in the electricity sector doubled. The abandonment of maintenance, ignorance of development plans, corruption, and patronage have led to the worst indicators of electricity service in history. In 2018, the state's electricity enterprises are not able to meet the country's energy demand. Although they are around 34,000 megawatts installed, only half is available. The decline of the enterprises has caused explosions and blackouts that have spread across entire regions for long hours. The failures have damaged appliances, caused the loss of food, and have even claimed human victims. It is urgent to free the state-owned enterprises from corruption, to guarantee a stable and adequate service that support the development of the country and the welfare of its inhabitants.